Team USA in lane 5 in the yellow boat.
As they take off here, that is Grace Luzak there, with the one athlete with kind of the most experience racing for the senior national team. You know, she was in the pair that got 4th in Rio. She was in the women's 4 when they got 1st in 2015. She's been in the women's 8 as well. So a handful of experience in different events. The 2 seat in that same crew is Claire Collins, who is making her first senior national team here, for her first team to be the Olympic team. That's a big deal. That's a big step for Claire Collins there in the 2 seat. And as you can see here, this fantastic, beautiful overhead shot. This is going to be a close field. The fact that it's the first time that this has been contested in a while means that countries may be prioritizing it for the first time in a good long while. In years past, it was an event that was contested at the World Championships, but not at the Olympic level. So when it's a Worlds event, but not an Olympic event, it sometimes could have been used in the past. I know in the United States, we did this from time to time, was use it for developing athletes, to develop a broader team for the athletes that didn't necessarily make the pair or the 8, whereas other countries could have prioritized it all along.
All 5 boats in touch as they hit the 500-meter mark in what is a 2,000-meter race here at the Sea Forest Waterway. Australia leading the way at the 500-meter mark of the women's 4. The second heat, the first 2 finishers will advance straight to the A final. 10 boats competing here in the women's 4. 4 of them advancing to the A final here today between the 2 heats.
And if you notice here, something different about these 4s, a couple of things. They don't have a coxswain, so these boats are very fast. Without the extra weight of the coxswain, they go a little bit quicker. So it's almost like being in a pair that's going incredibly fast. You feel like you're kind of on a ski, on a blade edge, on the edge of a hockey skate. If you're going along, it's that tippy, but you're just cruising because you have more people in the boat than a pair. The other thing, that aerial shot, you can see that the 2 boats to the right of the screen in the green hulls are rowing what's called a bucket rig. So they have 2 oars on the same side of the boat, one behind the other, rather than the alternating pattern down the hull that is kind of a standard rig. That happens for a couple of reasons. Sometimes it helps the boat go straighter. Some say it helps the boat go faster. Some use it for the person that's following the pair, that's rowing the same side as the person in front of her. It helps provide a little guidance for someone that might need some technical guidance down the race course.
Strong second 500 for Australia and Ireland. They are in those 2 transfer positions, followed by Romania. And at the halfway point, the United States in lane 5, right now in 4th place.
And now this portion of the race is that third 500 where we have seen lead changes in the past, depending on what is happening as they're coming down the course. Were they just setting a tone at the beginning? Do they have a move from here? How efficient were they in the first half of the race? Because again, you take off at a sprint, then you lengthen out, but you're still redlining on your way because you know that you are going to sprint again. So here in the third 500, are you being efficient so that you can continue to gain speed, knowing that you're going to have to push yet again another time in the fourth 500, the last 250 meters of the race?
There are 14 events in the Olympic rowing regatta, 526 athletes. Only 4 of them are racing in 2 different events, and 2 of them right now are in the leader. The Australian boat featuring Jessica Morrison in the 3-seat and Annabelle McIntyre in the stroke seat.
And the Irish are going right along there with them. They came to this regatta placing first at the final Olympic qualification regatta back in May. So for them to go through that is a lot of pressure, because you don't even know if you've earned a spot to go to the games yet until you go and race that event. And for someone to come through that race and then go very fast is not always the standard. But the Irish clearly are setting a standard here.
Can they hold on to it in the final 500? They are in that second position, which would book them a ticket straight to the A final. That is the race for gold. Australia and Ireland in the top two. The United States in lane 5 has some ground to make up in the final 500. Otherwise, they will race in the repechage and have a chance to advance the repechage on Monday.
And there's some distance that both of these green holes, the Australians and the Irish, are placing between them and the rest of the field. That bodes well. It gives them a little more rest. As we've said, these athletes are doubling up. The fewer races you can put between you and your A finals when you are doubling up will only help you in the long run. The Irish have gained momentum in 2020 and 2021 through the European Championships, doing well there, and then through that Olympic qualification regatta, and they're continuing to gain momentum as the finish line approaches.
Australia and Ireland have opened up some water between them and the rest of the field, and they will take this down the final stretch. Awfully close. You don't need to win, you just need to be in the top two, but you've come this far, you want to finish it off. Australia, Steffen, Papa, Morrison, and McIntyre trying to hold off the Irish right next to them in lane 2, and Australia makes it across the finish line first. Ireland just a second behind them. Those two will advance straight to the A final. Romania comes in third. The United States in lane 5 crosses in fourth. Along with Denmark, they will race in the repechage for a chance to get in to that race for Olympic gold, which will be on Wednesday. Netherlands, China, Australia, and Ireland headed straight to the A final in the women's 4.